You're watching the Sun Belt Conference on ESPN as we welcome you to downtown Atlanta and Center Park Credit Union Stadium for the first ever trip by the Memphis Tigers into Atlanta to take on the Georgia State Panthers in just the second all-time meeting between these two teams. And good evening, I'm Matt Stewart, joined by Sam Crenshaw. Memphis off to a 1-0 start, beat Chattanooga last week in their season opener. Chance for a very special 2025 here under head coach Ryan Silverfield. They've gone 22-5 the last 2+ seasons, and they got themselves a new quarterback this year from Nevada who comes in, Brendan Lewis, who had a good game in his opener.
Yes, he did. A great debut for him, and he shows you a lot of different things that are going to test this Georgia State defense. Here he rolls out of the pocket and can throw. He can sit in the pocket and find his target. And also he can tuck it and run. And remember, he has a veteran offensive line up in front of him that can help his productivity.
22 of 28 passing against the Mocs last week and is over 80 yards rushing, the best for a Memphis quarterback in over 20 years. Now the Georgia State Panthers and their quarterback situation after they got flattened at Ole Miss last Saturday night. Cam Brown is going to be the starter here today. And the newcomer, TJ Finley, we expect him to get snaps here tonight against the Tigers.
Cam Brown got to play some last week down at Ole Miss. Coach Del McGee said he had a great week of practice, so the transfer from Texas Tech gets the keys to the car to start the game. Oh, but you mentioned TJ Finley, who's had many stops along the way through his collegiate career. He landed in Atlanta earlier this year, cleared to join the team this week. Let's see which one gets the Panther offense going tonight, Matt.
And it's turned out to be a great night for football. Currently 75 degrees, and the rain precipitation chance has decreased to 20%. We've had storms in the area all day. Looks like all the heavy stuff has moved out. And saying we got a great night for Saturday Night Football.
Glad we got that out of the way early, Matt, so we can have great weather for football tonight. These two teams are ready to go, and it's big for Georgia State playing their first home game of the season after opening things up at Ole Miss last week.
Georgia State won the toss. They have elected to receive and get the ball first. And there's Ryan Silverfield. What a job he's done. 6th season as a head coach. He's been with the Tigers for over a decade now, going back to Mike Norvell's staff. 43-21. And as I mentioned just a few moments ago, 22-5 the last 2+ seasons. They've got a chance to win the American Conference this year. If they can win the American Conference, that means they got a shot at the college football playoff.
Absolutely. Impressive time for him. And there's Del McGee, of course, in his 2nd season, but his first full season to be able to do recruiting, coaching staff, players, transfer portal, and incoming freshmen. He felt like he got a lot of work done during this offseason, leading into this season. Just wants to see it pay off.
Yeah, first time he's had his own roster. Of course, he took over in February of 2024. Basically, the roster was set except for players they were able to add through the spring transfer portal. So the first time he's had a chance to recruit high school players, bring players in the winter transfer portal. So they feel a little bit better about the roster that they've been able to put together right now. Gianni Speck is ready to kick it off for the Tigers. They're decked out in their white jerseys and their gray trousers, and the Panthers going all in blue here today. Second all-time meeting, the Tigers won when they played back in 2018 in Memphis, 59-22. And this game was supposed to be on the schedule several times, but because of bad weather, hurricane, got moved around.
Or the pandemic.
A lot of different reasons why, but finally playing here tonight in 2025. Kick is coming down at the 9-yard line and fumbled. And the Panthers have to scramble and get on top of that thing in a hurry. Inauspicious start. That was the freshman T.J. Payton who came up to field the ball and then fumbled it forward. So Georgia State going to be starting at the 16-yard line.
Fortunate to get that bounce. It went Georgia State's way. You didn't want a disaster to start things out. And here's a change of quarterback already.
Yeah, T.J. Finley is getting the start. We were told that Cam Brown was going to be the starter, but that goes by the wayside. And T.J. Finley taking the first snap of the game for the Panthers. And this is the mark. This is the start of a different. I think Finley's going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. I mean, look at this, the career that he's put together in so many different places. And the Panthers going to run the ball on the very first snap and give it to Braswell.
Nothing fancy, just going right up the middle in this bigger, stronger, faster offensive line that Georgia State has. That's something they were able to improve through the transfer portal and recruiting, Matt.
Braswell started at Washington County High School over in the Augusta area and then started his career at South Carolina. And Coach Del McGee was pleased with the way they ran the ball despite the ultimate 63-7 loss at Ole Miss last Saturday night. So 2nd down and 1. And Finley going to go to the air on his second snap, and he's going to run it and pick up the first down. And Finley out across the 40-yard line, and Finley uses his legs to pick up the first down for Georgia State.
Poise, the experience. You can tell he's been here before, Matt. Nothing doing. He sees some open ground. He's going to get enough yards to move the sticks and then some. That's a veteran.
15-yard pickup for Finley, and the Panthers have it 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Handoff goes to Amos. Rashad Amos, who was actually in the Memphis football program during the offseason after transferring from Ole Miss and then transferring again to Georgia State. He got 9 on the play. Finley's going to whip it out to the outside there, and that's going to be a first down for the Panthers as the ball goes to Ted Hurst. He had only 1 pass reception at Ole Miss. Del McGee says they've got to get him the ball a whole lot more as we take a look at the impact players when the Panthers have it on offense.
Talked about, we already seen Amos, Javon Robinson, great receivers come over from Grambling. Everett Rousseau, welcome home with the high school down the road at Cedar Grove, and Jalen Bell is big on that defensive side.
Yeah, Bell had a nice game for them at their victory against Chattanooga last Saturday. Amos gets the carry, short gain for him that time. That was just a 2-yard gain, make it 3-yard gain as the ball's sitting on the 47-yard line. Rashad Amos, another Atlanta area kid who went off to play his college ball. He's from Sandy Creek. Started his career at Ole Miss. Second down and 7 as the Panthers have it across the 50-yard line. Finley goes to the air, complete to Robinson. Javon Robinson down to the 26-yard line, and the Panthers moving the ball well with Finley at the helm.
Nice catch and run by Robinson. The number 31, DeMarco Ward, is the guy that finally brings him down. Look at the catch and the yards after the catch. Big change with this offense for Georgia State. They're moving.
Robinson had that 43-yard touchdown reception for the Panthers' only score against Ole Miss last Saturday, and this time the first negative play for Georgia State.
90, that's Taylor Burton. First one there, first white jersey there.
Panthers lost 2 on the play, 2nd down and 12. Burton, the junior out of Memphis, Whitehaven High School, started his college career at UT Martin. Opening 3+ minutes have been good for the Panthers so far on offense, with TJ Finley taking the snaps at quarterback. On 2nd down and 12, Finley looks all over the field and goes to the far side. It's complete. Out there on the edge, a short gain for the Panthers that time. Ball going to DJ Braswell, and it's going to be 3rd down and long for Georgia State.
Braswell pretty versatile. You can line him up in the backfield. You can split him out. Makes the catch that time, but still we got a sizable pickup they got to get here on 3rd down, Matt.
3rd down, 9 to go. Braswell among the transfers for the Panthers. Played at South Carolina. Branson Robinson played at the University of Georgia. The entire running back room's transfers, except for T.J. Payton, the freshman. He was actually committed to Memphis before flipping to the Panthers, and Finley going to take a sack back at the 35-yard line, and that probably pushed the Panthers out of field goal range right there. Drew Watts coming up with the quarterback sack.
One of a number of transfers out of the Nevada program came in and walked right past Braswell to come up with that sack, and that really stops a pretty good starting drive for Georgia State. Looked like they were going to be in scoring range.
Yeah, so the Panthers going to come up with no points on this opening drive, even though they had originally gotten the ball down to the 26-yard line.
Look.
Memphis Tigers.
We got an attempt.
They're going to try a long field goal here. McAllister's going to try a 51-yard kick. McAllister, and the kick is going to be no good. So the Panthers do indeed come up empty on this opening possession. McAllister missed the 51-yarder.
And that's
the ball's going to go over to Memphis.
That's something we're watching tonight with Georgia State. It's the kicking game and who nails down that position if possible tonight.
Yeah, Liam Rickman missed a chip shot field goal at Ole Miss, so not surprising, though, to see McAllister. But McAllister typically takes the long field goal, so I don't know if there's a change if they would have used Rickman in that situation or whatever the case may be. But whatever the case is, Memphis now goes on offense. And there is Brendan Lewis. Lewis, heavy rush, comes off the edge. He misses it. And Lewis downfield, and it's caught wide open inside the 35-yard line, all the way down to the 15-yard line, and a big catch by Jamari Hawkins, wide open in the Panthers secondary.
But you feel bad for Chance Jang, who came in and had him. Not able to make the play. And you don't want to do that with Lewis. You don't want to give him time.
42-yard pickup. Brendan Lewis is a big physical quarterback. You're going to have to wrap him up. Handoff right up the middle, and Sutton Smith dives for the end zone. Going to be stopped inside. No, they're going to give him the touchdown. On second thought, the official gives him the touchdown. Sutton Smith, a young man from Atlanta and Walton High School, scores the touchdown for Memphis to give them the early lead.
This is a young man who was able to find the end zone last week in a big celebration because he's had to overcome some setbacks, injury. Here he is, just so determined. Let's see if he stays up there, stretches out across that line.
Yeah, they're going to review this, obviously. They review all the plays. I think he's short. Just seeing it a second time, I think he's going to be inside the 1-yard line, but I think his knee was on the ground and the ball had not broken the plane right there.
Right there.
I don't think that he's broken the plane. It's hard to tell, though, from that angle. And so we'll step aside and go to break as they go under review on the touchdown call. So the call of touchdown has been upheld by the replay official, Roy Reynolds. What a great effort by Sutton Smith. Look at him using his hand to stay balanced, and right there, knee on the ground, and it appears the ball has broken the plane of the goal line. So Ryan Silverfield's team takes the 6-0 lead. Spedek's on to try the PAT. Our referee is Edwin Lee. This is an American Conference crew working this game here tonight in the home of the Sun Belt Georgia State Panthers. But a great job by Sutton Smith. You mentioned it. Last year, against North Alabama in their season opener, tore his ACL, missed the entire season. And so came back strong last week with 60 yards rushing and comes out strong here tonight in his hometown against Georgia State. Kick is up and good, and Memphis has the 7-0 lead.
Short and sweet drive.
2 plays and 66 yards for Memphis to get the ball in the end zone. The big 42-yard pass completion, followed by the 16-yard touchdown run. As you take a look at Memphis, and this is why I referenced the fact that they've got a chance at a really special season here in 2025. If you look at the FBS top 5 in the ESPN Power Index, going into today's action, Memphis was the second highest rated non-autonomy conference team in the ESPN Power Index. Long way to go, but that's a good way to start.
And they've shown you last week and here tonight, they're a team that could be worthy of that. So, and bear watching.
You saw the team right below them on that list, South Florida, getting a huge win against Boise State. And last time I checked, they're winning against Florida right now as well. So the Panthers on the return, and T.J. Payton up across the 30-yard line. So T.J. Payton, the running back, who once was committed to Memphis out of Lanier High School here in the Atlanta area. Nice return for him. Gives the Panthers the ball at the 32-yard line.
Very nice return on the second opportunity. The first one, remember, the opening kickoff. Dropped it for a moment but fell on it. The nice return and better position to start the second possession.
So 1st and 10. I know T.J. Finley, playing for the Georgia State Panthers, comes as a big surprise to a lot of people, but he's been here since May. As Branson Robinson gets the carry out across the 35, 36-yard line. Some of the reporting that I saw this week was a little bit confusing in that some outlets reported that he enrolled September 1st, which is not true. He was cleared by the NCAA to play on September 1st, but he's been on campus with the team and participating in workouts, in meetings, studying the playbook since May.
Yep, and that is what Coach McGee shared with us this week.
Play gets blown up at the line of scrimmage, as that was William Whitlow making the TFL. Now it's going to be 3rd down for Georgia State.
Talented defensive front for Memphis.
Last week against Chattanooga, Tigers recorded 9 TFL. Chris Bracey, their safety, had a career-high 10 tackles. Now the Panthers working against the sticks here on 3rd down and 8. That's Robinson in motion. Finley whips it in the middle, and that'll be a 1st down for the Panthers at the 43-yard line. Nice catch by Leo Blackburn.
And that's what's missing last week, or has been missing for Georgia State, is 3rd down conversions. Big to get one now.
Yeah, Panthers were 2 for 11 on 3rd downs against Ole Miss last week. Pass complete to the tight end Cam Overton. And again, the Panthers are on the plus side of the 50.
Nice pass here from Finley. You can tell he has been working with these receivers for some time. Just the poise. Finding that tight end and moving the sticks. Another 1st down.
So 1st and 10, we were thrown a little bit of a curveball in that we were told that Cam Brown was listed as the starting quarterback coming into the game. So obviously the coaches have the discretion to change their mind, and perhaps that was the game plan. But T.J. Finley, the starting quarterback for the Panthers here tonight. Ball goes to Javon Robinson. They're trying to set up a screen for him out there on the edge, and he's going to be tackled out there on the edge after a short gain.
Robinson has shown himself to do well for this team, coming over from Grambling. The touchdown last week against Ole Miss.
Very explosive player, and Coach Dale McGee feels like Robinson is going to really help out Ted Hurst. Coach McGee was unhappy with the amount of targets that Hurst got against Ole Miss. Finley going to go deep with it and caught for the touchdown to Ted Hurst. And immediately comparing the offense here in the first quarter to the offense we saw in 4 quarters against Ole Miss, it's a different show.
Different show. This one's going to come back, but great execution. And where's Ted Hurst? There he is.
Yeah, so penalty on the Panthers here to erase that touchdown. And these are the type of mistakes that really had Del McGee agitated after, they got beat at Ole Miss last Saturday night. So 2nd down and 11, ball sitting at the 38. Yeah, you can see he's not happy, nor should he be. Finley throws it underneath. Nice effort there by Braswell, who got waylaid by Brumfield, the Mike linebacker.
Boy, and the helmet comes off.
Brumfield brought the lumber. He's a transfer from Virginia Tech.
Boy, what a hit there.
Had 5 tackles and a quarterback sack against Chattanooga last week. Now it's going to be 3rd down. Second time the Panthers have been in plus territory, and they came up empty the first time when they missed a 51-yard field goal, but should have never been a 51-yard field goal attempt because they got the ball to the 26 and went backwards.
You got a 3rd and long here, Matt. Let's see if they can convert another 3rd down.
3rd down and 12. Line to gain is the 27. Finley off his back foot throws it up for grabs, and it's caught by Hurst inside the 15-yard line, and no flags this time, and that'll be a 1st down for Georgia State.
Talk about Finley backpedaling, hangs it out there and lets his playmaker make the play. Great catch by Finley. 1st down.
27-yard pickup, ball sitting on the 12. And Ted Hurst has already been more involved in the offense here tonight than he was all last week. Ball goes to Hurst again on the screen out there, and Hurst down to the 6.
What a season this guy had last year, right? Amazing season. In the transfer portal momentarily. Decides to stay here at Georgia State.
9 touchdowns last season set the Georgia State program record and was named Sun Belt preseason all-conference. 2nd down and 3, ball sitting at the 5. Panthers excellent opportunity to tie this game. Under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Scrambling forward, Amos that time. Down to the 3.
Seemed like he just lost his footing. He saw something come open to the left side, and when he got ready to accelerate, just lost his footing there.
Had 9 carries for 68 yards against Ole Miss last week. First down run maybe lost a little bit on that play. Going to bring up 2nd down.
Broomfield lost his helmet there.
Me.
Broomfield lost his helmet. He's going to go out.
It's 3rd down and 1. Ball sitting inside the 3-yard line. Well, the yard marker just flipped over to 4th and 1, so they did not pick up the 1st down initially, so now it's 4th down and 1. Wow, what a collision. I don't know if he got it.
Boy, let's see where they mark this one, Matt.
The official running in from the side. Looks like he's a little bit short of the line to gain, but we'll check the spot. Ball going to Branson Robinson, and a huge collision right there. DeMarco Ward.
Wow.
And they get the stop. DeMarco Ward's another one of the Georgia kids. He's from Duluth High School here in the Atlanta area. And the Panthers come up empty again. Get stopped on downs inside the 5-yard line. Panthers moving the ball, but they're not scoring right now. Memphis on offense when we get back. Back in Atlanta, and the ball goes over on downs as Memphis will take over at their own 2-yard line. Here's a look kind of right down the line, if you will. And Branson Robinson getting stopped. You see 31, DeMarco Ward, the young kid from Duluth High School, started his career at Florida State, making a big tackle right there, helped out by his teammates. And so Memphis twice has allowed the Panthers to get into plus territory, and twice now Memphis has come up with a stop. Panthers have actually already outgained Memphis in this game, but Memphis leads where it counts the most, 7-0 on the scoreboard.
And it's our home folks who are doing the damage for Memphis. That is the guys who've grown up around Atlanta. They're getting a chance to come back home. I'm sure they got a lot of people out to support them tonight for Memphis.
Well, they got a lot of players from the Atlanta area on this Memphis team. Lewis going to hand off, and nice tackle right there by the Panthers as the ball goes to Pizan.
Nice stop on that play. Georgia State. Hopkins, D.I.C. Hopkins, one of the veterans of the secondary for Georgia State.
By the way, DeWosier, their bruising #1 running back, did not participate in pregame drills. He was listed as questionable at best during the week after getting hurt against Chattanooga last week. Lewis back to pass. Heavy rush. Panthers got him. That's going to be a safety. Marlon Dean comes in there and gets the safety. Coach McGee has specifically said that Dean did not have a good game rushing the quarterback against Ole Miss, and he makes his presence felt early here tonight against Memphis.
Transfer from Utah State, making his presence felt right here. You're going to find that end zone one way or the other, Matt. Offense doesn't get in. How about the defense getting some points on the board? That's a bonus.
So Marlon Dean from Elberton, Georgia, by way of IMG Academy, Butler Community College, as you mentioned, Utah State, comes up with the safety here to make it a 7-2 game. So Georgia State gets points from their defense, and they'll be going back on offense when we get back. Last Saturday night at Oxford as they got flattened by Ole Miss 63-7. Sam, it was a very difficult game for Georgia State, but they played much better in every phase so far here tonight.
Get up to a good start with the offense and the offensive line, who Coach McGee will tell you played well last week. I know he wants to see him find the end zone. They're moving the ball quite well here in this first quarter.
So here's the kickoff as the Tigers elect to free kick instead of punt on the safety after the safety. And so the Panthers, Peyton brings it out to the 35-yard line, and a man down for Georgia State on the kick return. Grabbing his leg, doesn't look good. It's not a good sign.
That's Sir Mills, returning from the Georgia State team.
And Sir Mills, defensive end on that kick coverage, looked like he got perhaps a bad injury right here. Panthers quickly out there with the medical team to tend to him at the 35-yard line. So we'll step aside as they deal with him. That's number 40, Sir Mells, who was injured on that kick return. You can see he's fired up. It's a significant injury. They've already got the leg brace on his entire left leg. So whole team rallying around him right now. So wish him the best.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's giving those words of encouragement for his teammates. They all gather around him.
It's a physical, violent game, and everybody understands that on any given play, it could be your last play.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's Coach Dale McGee. Obviously doesn't want to see that happen when one of his players happen to leave the game. And questionable as to his return.
Yes, Sir Mells Yeah. No, he's not coming back tonight. Sermel's the number 2 defensive end on the depth chart, so behind Ian Matthews. So the Panthers a man down on the defensive line now early in this game.
And that's the thing, you work with the depth. That's one thing that Coach McGee feels like he was able to acquire during this offseason. It's going to be put to the test at that position.
So Panthers on offense for the 3rd time tonight. TJ Finley, if you're just now joining us, has been the starter from the get-go. And 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. And handoff goes to Amos, and he gets wrapped up and thrown for a loss. And big Jalen Bell, number 93, there to make the stop for the Tigers.
Bell just has great energy the way he plays.
TJ Finley, 9 of 9 passing for 90 yards so far. In his first start, first game action for the Georgia State Panthers after being cleared by the NCAA early last week. But did not make the trip to Ole Miss since the Panthers were already into game preparation for that game. Ball goes complete to Amos. Amos makes a couple of men miss. And Amos up to the 46-yard line, yards short of the first down.
Tremendous effort to get the yards after the catch. Amos showing his versatility coming out of the backfield. Shakes off 3 defenders, a 4th one before they finally bring him down. Another helmet coming off there.
3rd down and 1 for the Panthers after the 13-yard pickup. Panthers 2 of 4 on their 3rd downs already here in the first quarter after converting just 2 all of last week at Ole Miss. And off goes to Amos. 1st down for Amos as he leans his body in close to the 50-yard line.
Another 3rd down conversion for this Georgia State offense. More positives.
Panthers with the ball at the 49 after they got the safety from Marlon Dean on quarterback Brendan Lewis. Finley avoids the rush, now scrambling, now being chased. Got some blocks, slides forward for the 1st down. Flag comes in, might have a late hit.
That would be on Chris Bracey, transfer from UAB.
Don't know if it'll be a late hit or maybe a targeting. We'll have to take another look at that, but the flag came in right there at the point of the slide and the tackle.
Still got a player down over here.
Is that Finley? It would stand the reason that might be Finley because he's the guy who slid in that general spot. I mean, it looks like he's holding his hand. It is Finley.
Yeah, like he's holding maybe his left hand or left forearm.
What incredibly bad luck that would be.
Offensive holding. The result of the play is a 1st down.
So you heard the call from our official, Edwin Lee.
It seems like it may be his leg.
No, I think it's his hand. They're going to help him off the field. Here's your reverse angle on the play, and he comes back to you right here. You see the flag come in. They were going to call holding, then they picked that up. And maybe, it looked like maybe Bracey fell on his hand. He was using the hand to plant. It looked like Bracey fell on that trailing hand. And he's shaken up. So Panthers will bring Cam Brown in at quarterback, I believe. Is it Cam? Yep, Cam Brown's going to be in at quarterback. The young man we were told was going to be the starter. But now getting some snaps here with 1:28 to play and the clock running in the first quarter. Brown going to sprint out to his right and throw and complete at the 27-yard line. Ball goes to Kyle Washington. First catch for Kyle Washington.
And watch Cam Brown going to roll right. Look for number 82 and get the completion. Moving the sticks again. 1st down.
First career catch for Kyle Washington, the freshman out of Hollywood, Florida. Ball goes to the other side and complete to Riles. DJ Riles to the 22-yard line. Brings up third down.
That's the name that the Georgia State offense wants to get going. Had a productive season a year ago for Georgia State. Let's see him make a catch.
Had only one catch for 2 yards against Ole Miss last week. He's a junior out of Columbus, Georgia, Carver Columbus High School, where Dale McGee was once a head coach. Started his college career at Middle Tennessee before transferring back to his home state to play for the Panthers here in Atlanta. 2nd down and 7. Cam Brown on the run. Inside the 10, Cam Brown, touchdown, Georgia State.
He's been waiting for that, Matt.
22-yard touchdown run for Cam Brown, and the Panthers have the lead.
Take another look. Can't find his receiver, but there's an opening. And, man, he's got some afterburners. He's got some speed, a couple of missed tackles. He finds the end zone. That's big when your starting quarterback goes out.
So the Panthers able to convert that safety into a following touchdown. And the PAT by Rickman is up and good, and it's 9-7.
It's Brown again, and was determined to get into the end zone.
Cam Brown, a Georgia kid from Byron, Georgia, played his high school ball at Northside Warner Robins and started his career at West Georgia. You saw graphically he's a transfer from Texas Tech. So after playing for the Wolves, he went out to play for the Red Raiders, didn't really get on the field there. So now back in his home state to play for the Georgia State Panthers. Got in the touchdown chain. Couple of them, actually. See his numbers last week against Ole Miss, 36 total yards of offense, which he has already surpassed here tonight in just a couple of snaps against Memphis.
Well, that's big and big positive for Georgia State's offense, especially with TJ Finley going out of the game. I'm keeping an eye on the trainer's tent. He's still inside that tent, Finley is.
First lead of the season for Georgia State, as McAllister boots it out of the back of the end zone, and the Tigers will bring it out to the 25. So the first quarter statistically has been dominated by the Georgia State offense. Memphis has had the ball twice. They scored quickly the first time they had it, and then they gave up the safety the second time they had it.
Here's Brendan Lewis.
So 1st and 10 from the 25. Sutton Smith in motion. He scored the touchdown for the Tigers earlier in this quarter. Going to get the handoff right there. And Sutton Smith, another gaping hole, and another first down carry for Sutton Smith. First time he touched the ball, went 16 yards for a touchdown. Second time he touches the ball, he goes 10 plus for the first down.
He was moving. Deuce Walker came up with the stop.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. "15 minutes in the books." We got a good one going on here in Atlanta. After 1 quarter of play, Georgia State 9-7 lead on Memphis. Tigers got the ball when we get back. Start of the second quarter, Georgia State with a 9-7 lead on Memphis. Memphis ran only 5 offensive plays in that first quarter, 75 yards, and scored. Georgia State 27 total plays, 182 total yards. So statistically, the Panthers dominated the first quarter. Lead by 2 as we start the second period. Pass complete to Sutton Smith. Smith up to the 45-yard line. Flag comes out. Meantime, Sam, we had our eye on TJ Finley coming out of the medical tent during the quarter break. What'd you see?
Oh, we got to see him come
Personal
out.
foul, face mask. Number 2, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He's still talking with Bob Murphy. That's the head trainer for Georgia State football. Trying to flex that left hand. He doesn't have his helmet. They haven't given him his helmet back yet.
He came over and talked to somebody in the front row. I'm assuming that's an important family member, so we'll try to get an update on him. 15-yard penalty on Fillmore gives the Tigers the ball at the 40-yard line. Handoff goes to Smith. Smith coming around the edge. Not going to get there. Nice pursuit by the Panthers. Deuce Walker, the safety, comes up to cut him down.
Walker's been very active right now. And he's one of the 3 guys in that defensive unit, along with Demaine Wilson and Josiah Robinson. That's a 3-way combination that's big for Georgia State's defense.
Brings up 2nd down and 8. Lewis whips it in the middle, incomplete. There's TJ Finley on the sideline. Can't really tell from there, but a lot of people talking to him, including Bob Murphy, the head trainer. So no indication whether Finley is going to be able to come back in or not. It's 3rd down and 8. Lewis sprints out to his right, looking downfield. Flag comes out, thrown, is complete. That's a first down, but check the flag.
As Finley heads for the locker room, headed towards what was the dugout, go off the field.
Holding, number 71, offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Now there's the hold right there on 71. Malachi Breland, the redshirt sophomore, cost him a first down. It's going to be 3rd down and long now. Pipes out a catch by Jaden Johnson. Now it's 3rd down and 18, lined against the 30. Pass out here on the edge, complete. Not going to go very far. Ball goes to C.J. Smith, the former Georgia Bulldog. Smith did not play in their opener against Chattanooga, so that's the first catch for him as a Memphis Tiger. 4th-year junior out of Apopka, Florida. Mount Dora High School. Started his high school career with the Bulldogs. They won today, beat Austin Peay. Transfer to Memphis from Purdue. So 4th down and Tigers have to punt. End over end kick gonna hit inside the 5, kick into the end zone. So the Panthers will bring it out to the 20. 9-7, Georgia State on top and back on offense when we get back. second quarter in Atlanta. Georgia State leading Memphis 9-7. Matt Stewart along with Sam Crenshaw. Panthers signed the largest and highest rated recruiting class in program history during this past offseason. Saw the roster breakdown. 29 early signees, 67 newcomers. Welcome to college football in 2025.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's a great mix for Coach Dale McGee. He has some great freshmen that are coming in. They may get some chance to make an impact, but he also got that experience and some depth, which is needed. You're going to compete in the Sun Belt.
Cam Brown back out there at quarterback. He subbed in after TJ Finley got hurt. He's gone to the locker room. So the Panthers take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Branson Robinson, the running back, lines up next to him. Play action, firing in the middle, and it's caught. All the way down inside the 30-yard line. How about that?
Grant Hollier. Talk about that young man from River Ridge High School. Not far away. Making a big catch here. Pretty talented tight end room, this Georgia State.
Freshman who's not even on the 3-deep depth chart, so the Panthers go a little bit deeper on that one right there, and Hollier picks up the first down at the 28-yard line. Branson Robinson gets the rock, picks up 3 down to the 25. So regardless of whether it's been Finley or Cam Brown as the quarterback, the Panthers offense has been pretty good tonight.
And we expect that because of the improvement up front. The offensive line is a bigger, more talented line, more seasoned than last year when Coach McGee arrived. He talks about that, and we'll tell you that quickly.
2nd down and 7. Heavy rush. Brown gets away from it for the moment. Fires into a tight spot, incomplete. Trying to get it to Javon Robinson. Now it's going to be 3rd down.
DJ Braswell checking in for Georgia State.
Braswell 2 carries, 7 yards so far tonight. Pocket for Brown, going for the home run. Misses his target, Cam Overton, the tight end. Double coverage, 4th down.
So who takes this kick?
Well, it looks like Liam Rickman's going to go out there and take this kick. Yeah, Del McGee said Rickman and McAllister would have a competition this week after Rickman missed a short field goal against Ole Miss last week. And McAllister took the first attempt from 51 yards. Rickman is taking this attempt from 42 yards. Kick on its way. It's going to be off. So the Panthers' troubles in the place kicking game continue as they come up empty on their 2nd field goal attempt of the night. Score remains 9-7. Georgia State 9-7 lead on Memphis as the Tigers get ready to go back on offense here in the second quarter. Tigers have been a big first half team going back to last season. 249 points in the first half a year ago, led the American Conference, 19th most in the nation. And last week against Chattanooga, they had a 28-3 halftime lead. But so far here tonight, scored on their opening possession, but have not gotten into the end zone since. Haven't run a lot of plays. Panthers have dominated the number of plays. Still just 5 total plays for Memphis as they go on offense here from the 25-yard line. Running right into the middle of the field, and Sutton Smith gets stopped in his tracks.
Jermaine Wilson right there to start. A great season last year is picking up right where he left off. Watch number 1.
And Wilson had only 1 tackle last week against Ole Miss. 1-yard pickup for Smith, 2nd down and long. Tigers have won 5 straight dating back to last season when they finished 11-2. Lewis, screen pass. Smith is chased down from behind. Great pursuit by the Panthers defense right there. Josiah Robinson.
That's Jermaine Wilson's tag team partner right there in the middle of that defense. Getting to the outside, making a big solo stop.
El McGee specifically felt like Josiah Robinson had a nice game against Ole Miss, says he plays the right way. That's pretty hard to do when you get beat 63-7. But coach was able to point out some guys who did play well. Wasn't all bad. 3rd down and 11. Heavy rush. Lewis gets it out of there, and it's caught at the 38-yard line. Super play to get open and make the catch. Cortez Braham.
Cortez Braham, another transfer from Nevada. Boy, that pressure was coming up the middle, too.
Super job by Braham right here to get open. He was matched up on Gine, the corner, who let him off the hook. 1st and 10. Nice catch. Nice play by Lewis and Braham. Combination, as you mentioned, that was effective last year with the Wolfpack of Nevada. Smith gets the handoff, bounces off the initial contact and reaches the 50.
We talked from the outset about Brendan Lewis and all the different things he can do, how he can strike from the pocket, roll with the pocket, or even keep the ball and run as well. He had a big game on the ground last week. Here he is with a big 2nd down play.
Ball sitting on the 49, 2nd down and 6. Heavy rush again from the Panthers, and Lewis runs away from it. Across the 40. Dragged down from behind, and a nice run by Lewis to pick up the 1st down.
That's what we hadn't seen him do tonight so far. We talked from the outset about how he can throw it, roll the pocket and throw it. But here he is. He can keep it and make a difference. Gets the 1st down. Moves the sticks for the Tigers.
His 81 yards rushing last week against Chattanooga, the most for a Tigers quarterback since Danny Wimprine had 85 against Houston way back in 2001. That was an 18-yard pickup. Lewis, like many college football players today, well-traveled. Dumps it off to his tight end, Anderson. Anderson picks up the 1st down. Monte Gaston threw his body in there to get the big Bryce Anderson down on the ground, but that's a 1st down for Memphis as they have it at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 20. That was a 13-yard pickup. Bryce Anderson's 1st catch of the year.
Oh, got some movement.
Number 70, offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, Coach Ryan Silverfield was really happy. Last week they had no pre-snap penalties in their season opening victory against Chattanooga. One bites them right there. Makes it 1st and 15 now from the 25. And Makari Bodiford, another former Walton Raider, gets the carry. Another young man playing in his hometown here tonight.
Nice run here.
Bodiford's a load. We saw him play high school football, led his team to the state finals his senior year. He is hard to bring down. Expect him to have a big year with the Tigers. Bodiford gets his 2nd carry in a row. And again, Bodiford and Sutton Smith, they're going to get an increased load here tonight with DeWosier not playing.
Number 11, Ian Matthews, in on the stop there for Georgia State. Brings up 3rd down.
Again, DeWosier got hurt early in the game against Chattanooga last week, was listed as questionable. Coach Silverfield said he would make the trip and they'd wait and see on Saturday if he'd be able to go. Tigers 1 of 2 on their 3rd downs. 3rd down and 2 from the 12. Bodiford gets the 1st down and more down to the 6. Their head coach, Daniel Bruner, at Walton High School, played his college ball in Memphis at Rhodes College.
Okay.
So they got a little bit of a Memphis connection there in their head coach from high school. And there's a high school connection with Coach Silverfield in the state of Georgia. Tell you about that in a little bit. 1st and goal from the 7. Right up the middle, Bodiford scores the touchdown. So the 2 Walton Raiders have scored the touchdowns for Memphis here tonight. Sutton Smith the 1st, Makari Bodiford the 2nd, and Memphis has a 13-9 lead.
And Bodiford just the guy who was doing most of the work on this particular drive. And he would be the guy who would finish it. That's hard, determined running.
Good to see Makari Bodiford. Wow, did you see him? He went right through that defense, man. Contact did not faze him at all. Spetic on to try the PAT for the Tigers. Puts it up and in. 14-9. Memphis has reclaimed the lead with 5:34 to play in the half. Impressive running by Makari Bodiford on that drive. Tigers back in front here in Atlanta. Coach Silverville's Tigers now with a 14-9 lead. He actually started his head coaching career as a 23-year-old at Memorial Day School in Savannah. They went 1-9 in his one season there. Things have gotten better for him.
A lot better.
Yes.
But he does have ties to the state.
He does. And right now his team's winning against Georgia State. You saw the 10-play, 75-yard drive for the Tigers. Impressive. Makari Bodiford getting his first real work of the season. Strong presence for him in that last series. And now the Panthers will not return this as it goes through the back of the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. So the Tigers have been able to flip the script. The Panthers ran 27 plays to the Tigers 5 in the first quarter. The Tigers have run 14 plays to the Panthers 4 here in the second quarter.
And that's the thing. They get the payoff. They find the end zone at the end of their drive. And that's been something that Georgia State has had difficulty doing. When they did get one with Cam Brown as he continues at quarterback for Georgia State in this possession.
So headline here in the context of this game, TJ Finley did start the game for the Panthers, was playing well. Panthers were moving the ball on offense. And then he left the game with a hand injury. Cam Brown has come in and maintained that pace. Cam Brown has also played very well after, as you pointed out in our open, had a very good week of practice. That was said specifically by Dale McGee when we visited with him during the week. And that's why he said Cam Brown, regardless of who starts, is going to play on Saturday. And he's looked very good. Second down for the Panthers. Play action. Brown stands in the pocket, delivers downfield, and incomplete. Ted Hurst was there, but so was Chris Bracey.
There's another look at it. Hurst is there, but Bracey's right there too.
Yeah, Bracey actually almost had the interception as we look at it for the second and third time right here. Went through Hurst's hands and then through the hands of Bracey.
And he knows it too.
Bracey out of Mobile, Alabama, St. Paul's Episcopal, and a transfer from UAB. It's third down for the Panthers. Brown in the pocket, delivers on the drag across the middle. That'll be a first down for the Panthers as the ball goes to Javon Robinson.
That's a big play, Matt, because you don't want the ball to go back over and get it back to Memphis. They have some momentum on offense. So you come up with a big third down conversion.
That's not unsimilar to the 43-yard scoring play they had to go to Robinson against Ole Miss last week. So first and 10 for Georgia State. Ball at the 42. Under 4.5 to play here in the first half. Heavy rush. Brown eludes it, throws to the side, caught and dropped right away. Watts, the linebacker, right there, ready to tackle at the point of the catch.
Yep. Big open field stop, solo stop for Drew Watts. He's right there waiting to make the play.
DJ Braswell, Branson Robinson with the catch for Georgia State out of the backfield. So now it's going to be second down and 8. Line the gain is the other 48 as the Panthers have it at their 44. Brown dumps it off here, dropped. Overton started to run with it before he had it.
Yep. Now
it's going to be third down. And a Memphis player shaking up here. I think it's Watts down on a knee right here. Don't know what happened to him. Yeah. Non-contact, whatever it was.
He is down on the field right now.
Yeah, they're not reacting like it's a cramp.
They're trying to get him to his feet. It's like a struggle for him. No contact.
Yeah. So Drew Watts, the fifth-year senior, another transfer from Nevada. They got a bunch of those here on this Memphis squad, led by Brendan Lewis, their quarterback. And it's going to be third down. Watts with 4 tackles, 2 solo, and a TFL quarterback hurry here in the first half. He's had a good first quarter plus. Panthers now facing 3rd and 8. Panthers been much better on 3rd downs here tonight than they were last week in Oxford. Cam Brown feels the pressure, rolls out of it, throws complete to Hurst. That's a first down.
Coach Silverfield was talking in his press conference earlier this week, and the first thing he talked about was Ted Hurst, how good he is and how productive is he. And here he is doing what you have to do to help your quarterback when it's 3rd down and he's feeling some pressure. You find the down markers, you get the first down, and you move the sticks.
Last week, the Panthers 2 of 15. Panthers were 35+% a year ago. Amos on the run, down to the 44-yard line. Second down and 8 for Georgia State. Ball at the 44. Brown across the middle, and it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Georgia State. Javon Robinson beat the coverage. Panthers back on top, 15-14.
Second time in as many games, Robinson finds the end zone. Great play and great throw by Cam Brown. Has plenty of time from that big improved offensive line. You can tell the difference, Matt.
That goes for 44 yards, gets the Panthers back on top. PAT by McAllister is up and good. 16-14, Panthers lead by 2. And you brought it up a number of times, Sam, and it can't be understated just how important the play of the Panthers' offensive line and the improvement they've got in their offensive line this year, how big that's going to be for them, because that was a real weak spot for them a year ago.
Last week we saw them. That was one of the, I guess, silver linings to the cloud, what they were able to do on the ground last week. But here they are, good pass protection. They're showing some versatility here tonight.
They, by and large, even last week against Ole Miss, despite the route, kept the quarterbacks clean. And they were very good in the run blocking, which, of course, is essential for Dale McGee. 8 plays, 75 yards.
2:40 to play. We talked with Dale McGee, and he talked about the middle 8, Matt. The middle 8. Remember, the last 4 in the first half, first 4 minutes in the second half. Yep. And what happened last week and how crucial that time is, the middle 8. We're in the middle 8 right now.
No doubt. Yeah, a week ago, the Panthers were within 17-7 with 5 minutes left in the first half, and then got outscored 46-0 over the last 35 minutes of the game. So we'll see how they do with the middle 8, as the coaches like to refer to it. Right now they lead at 16-14. Memphis gets the ball back with plenty of time, 2:40 to go and 3 timeouts left. Both teams have their full complement of timeouts here late in the second quarter. (59-22), Memphis beat Georgia State in the one and only meeting between these two teams back in 2018. First and 10 for the Tigers. They go back on offense at the 25. On the drag, nice completion up to the 6-yard line. Ball goes to Hawkins. There's your series history. Not much to tell other than it's the second all-time meeting between these two teams, and comes a few years later than had initially been anticipated. Handoff goes to Smith. Smith dances to the outside, gets up to the 40, and that'll be a first down.
They're working their way up to the 2-minute timeout here.
Thought it was interesting because several years ago, because of the hurricane, the Panthers had their game with Memphis canceled. But we'll tell that story when we get back. 2-minute timeout here in the first half. Coming out of the 2-minute timeout, Georgia State leading Memphis 16-14. Tigers have it 1st and 10, though, at their own 40-yard line. Matt Stewart, Sam Crenshaw. Tigers trying to get the lead back here before they head into the locker room. Panthers have doubled them up from a total offense standpoint. Tigers have only 98 yards of offense so far here in this first half. Lewis is 7 of 8 passing, making 8 of 9 passing as the ball goes to Bussey. But a nice strong tackle by Hopkins out there on the edge keeps him from going anywhere.
Nice solo stop by the Icy Hopkins.
Lewis in the pocket, he's clean, now scrambles out of it, runs to the sideline and gets chased down out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at 1:33.
And we got a flag on the right tackle, Travis Burks, who basically wrestled the Georgia State Panther to the ground.
Yeah, flag sitting back at the 33-yard line. And
There are
Edwin Lee
fouls
with the
by both
call.
teams. Holding, number 78 offense. Personal foul, face mask, number 13 defense. This foul's offset. Repeat, second down.
So it'll stay 2nd down and 10 with 1:33 to play in the half. And both teams still with their 3 timeouts. Del McGee trying to pick up his 4th win as the Panthers head coach. Went 3-9 in season number 1. Second and 11 is what they'll call it from the 39. Not quite 2nd and 10. Lewis. Pass out here to Smith, and he gets wrapped up and dropped. Again, great pursuit by the Panthers coming off the edge right there. Bernard Causey, the cornerback, making the tackle.
28, Causey, transfer from LSU. Stepped up and making a big stop on Sutton Smith.
He's out of New Orleans and John F. Kennedy High School, a big-time prospect when he signed with the LSU Tigers, but never really got on the field. Looking for a new life here at Georgia State. Timeout called, 3rd and 13 coming up. So the Panthers, did they call the timeout? They may have been the one that called the timeout. I'm trying to see who called the timeout right there, because the Panthers have an opportunity to get the ball back, and maybe they can score before the end of the half. They get the stop here on 3rd down. Take a look at the Del McGee resume. Of course, 22 years of coaching experience, 5 at Georgia before he signed on to become the Panthers head coach, and led Georgia State to a upset victory over Vanderbilt. First time they'd ever beaten an SEC team in this building. First time they'd ever played an SEC team in this building.
Of course, they have to make the return visit to Nashville here in a few weeks.
3rd down and 13. Panthers were the ones that burned that timeout, as we had anticipated. Lewis in the pocket, fires in the middle, and it's broken up. Fillmore, Deuce Fillmore, the cornerback, and the Panthers going to get the ball back.
The Deuces are making plays in the secondary. Georgia State, watch number 2. Force that pass out of there.
Yeah, the Panthers have double Deuces back there, right? Deuce Fillmore, the cornerback, and Deuce Walker, the safety. 4th down, and Memphis has to give the ball back.
They're getting it back with 1:16. Well, see how much time's burned on this play.
Lachlan Kerrigan to punt. Left-footed kick, end over end. Fair catch called for and made at the 23-yard line. That's where the Panthers will go on offense. 2 timeouts remaining and 69 seconds to play in the half. So the Panthers did a very good job of time management after getting some fine defensive plays and holding Memphis to virtually nothing on that series.
We talked about what happened in the final 4 minutes of the first half last week. But now it seems like the Panthers have been able to get by without surrendering any points before going into the locker room. Matter of fact, they have a chance to add some.
Cam Brown's been the guy since TJ Finley made the start and went out with an injury. And the way Cam Brown's playing, he's doing nothing to hurt his chances of getting a lot more snaps in the future. He's played well. 7 of 11 passing for 141, and back to pass again. Heavy rush, runs out of it. uses his shoulder to be physical on the quarterback run up to the 26-yard line.
Shows he can get some tough yards if need be.
How about him lowering the shoulder right there? If you thought he might slide, he lowered the shoulder like he was a fullback or something. Second down, clock continues to run, 45 seconds. Drop the snap, picks it up. Goes down at the 25-yard line. And let's see who called the timeout. Now Memphis calls the timeout. They're thinking, now we can get the ball back. Because the Panthers are now facing 3rd down and 7. So that puts pressure on Georgia State to do something offensively here on this 3rd and 7 coming up, Sam. They can't just run the ball to try to kill the clock because Memphis will use another timeout.
Absolutely. So this is a big 3rd down attempt. They need to get a conversion. Georgia State does. As you look at the resume, Coach Silverfield.
Yeah, took over the program in 2019. 25th head coach in program history. Joined the staff back in 2016 as an assistant to Mike Norvell. Had back-to-back 10-win seasons, 11-2 last year. And 43-21 his coaching record with 5 bowl wins.
One of his big matches also was a trip to the Cotton Bowl for this team, Memphis.
Memphis picked to finish 3rd in the American Conference behind Tulane and Navy. And with Boise State losing that opening game, the winner of the American Conference, I would say, has an excellent choice or chance, pardon me, to be the representative in the college football playoff as that 5th conference champion. Cam Brown slings it out here. It's complete, dropped right away. Memphis will burn a timeout. Super play by Jordan right there. And Memphis is going to get the ball back. They do an excellent job of clock management.
Going to 3rd down play. Now you got to get off a great punt.
That's Jeremiah Jordan, a local kid out of Memphis, Cordova High School. Started his career at Harding University. What's interesting about the transfer portal, you see guys going both ways. Sometimes it's from a power conference program coming to another program looking for a second chance. Sometimes it's like a Jeremiah Jordan coming from Harding, looking to step up and prove themselves at a bigger level. Coach Silverfield said that the key to their success, Sam, has been holding players accountable, whether they're a D3 transfer or a transfer from Ohio State, treating them all the same way.
And that's an excellent policy.
33 seconds to play in the half. Punt going to hit at the 41, take a bounce and a returnable bounce as Smith grabs it on the hop, heads to the outside, gets it inside the 50 and hurdles out of bounds at the 40-yard line. They're going to have a chance to take a shot at the end zone and maybe set up for a field goal here as they have the ball around the 40-yard line. We'll see what ultimately they've spotted it. Might have a penalty. Yeah, we do have a penalty at the 48-yard line. This is going to be a big one right here.
During the return, holding, return team, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
So that changes things significantly for the Tigers.
20 seconds to go. They still have the ball, but it makes it a lot more difficult, the degree of difficulty.
Yeah, around the 40-yard line, you're looking at probably a 15-yard completion to be in reasonable field goal range. Now you're back on the other side of the 50 at the 45. Now you probably need a completion of 20 yards, 25 yards. 20 seconds to work with and 1 timeout remaining, which you would probably save in your back pocket to try to get the field goal team on, if indeed that's the opportunity that arises. Lewis, 9 of 11, 95 yards passing, only 16 yards rushing here tonight after going for 81 last week against Chattanooga. Clean pocket for Lewis, stretching the field, going for the home run, and incomplete. Was looking to get the ball to Caldwell right there. The Panthers cornerback Fillmore had the cleanest shot at it, though.
It was too long even for him.
the Georgia State Panthers defensively, Travis Pearson, the new defensive coordinator, felt like that offensively Memphis was not going to be a big vertical downhill team, but more going to be check down and perimeter type passing team and focusing on Lewis in the running game. Lewis has not been a big factor in the running game yet. Ball in the middle, broken up. Panthers doing a really good job. Gine, who had a pick last week against Ole Miss, with the PBU right there.
Big play by James Gine. Had a big play early on in this game. Big defensive stop. And with the breakup here, 3rd down, but more importantly, only 8 seconds. So what's your call?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You heave it for the end zone or just take a knee and get out of this thing with no damage done. Doesn't look like they're thinking about a knee, though. Now, Pizant's going to get the carry, so they're pretty happy to just run this thing out. Ball down to the 41-yard line, and that will be, I believe, did they call a timeout?
Call a timeout. They used that last timeout.
Did they call a timeout? Or the
2
clock,
seconds
clock
left.
is stopped to move the sticks, but I believe they did call a timeout. So they get the ball to the 42. This would be a 59-yard attempt for Spedick if they wanted to try to do something like that, or you take a shot at the end zone. Squeezing every second out of the half. Memphis and Georgia State tried to do the same thing. Both teams were very judicious. They're going to try a long field goal here. Spedick is on. This is going to be a 59-yard kick. Wow. Actually, it's going to be more like 60. They're going to put the ball down on the 50. He's straight on, though. Look at this. Look how far that is.
That's a long way.
That's a long poke. 60-yard field goal attempt for Gianni Spedick.
There's a flag.
It's not a delay of game.
Delay a game, disconcerting
is.
signals. Defense number 25.
Okay, it's not an
penalty.
offensive delay of game. It's a defensive
First down.
delay of game. So that moves it 5 yards closer. Now it's going to be a 55-yard kick.
El McGee not happy about that.
Panthers were doing something with the signals there, barking out signals on the defensive line, apparently. So 55-yard kick. Kick down, kick on its way, and the kick is going to be good. A 55-yard field goal by Gianni Spedick on the final play of the half. How about that? Memphis grabs a 1-point lead heading to the locker room.
Wow. We talk about managing things with the clock. We're talking about that penalty. 5 yards closer made the difference, Matt.
Wow, what a kick by Spedick. And Memphis has a 1-point lead. We'll wait and see how big that is as this game plays out in the second half. But Memphis down 2 a moment ago, up 1 as the teams head to the locker room. That was big. Memphis on top here in Atlanta as we head to halftime. Halftime here in Atlanta, Memphis with a 17-16 lead after a huge 55-yard field goal by Gianni Spetic right there at the end of the first half. Get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Halftime in Atlanta, 17-16. More coming up in a moment.
Hold it down till the sun comes up. Keep your head to the sky until the sun comes up.
In collegiate sports, one name continues to rise.
Now is the time where we go hard, moving up. Deep in the zone, keep it moving cause we're coming up. Now is the time where we go hard, moving up. Deep in the zone, keep it moving cause we're coming up.
The Sun Belt Conference, 14 universities, 10 states, rising.
We're gonna hold it down till the sun comes up.
At Georgia State, students succeed boldly. If you know innovators, if you know entertainers, if you know competitors, if you know Atlanta, you know Georgia State University, Atlanta's university.
Back in Atlanta at halftime. It's turned out to be a great Saturday night for football. We've got a good one going on here at the halfway point with Memphis leading Georgia State 17-16. Matt Stewart along with Sam Crenshaw. Fun game so far. Let's take a look at the highlights. Started well for Memphis. Brendan Lewis finding Hawkins down the sideline for a big gainer that set up their first touchdown.
The explosive play gets them in scoring range.
Sutton Smith, the 16-yard touchdown run, the former Walton Raider, getting Memphis on the board. Marlon Dean came back on their next offensive possession, got the safety in the end zone to make it 7-2. Cam Brown, who subbed in at quarterback here, had the touchdown run.
He finished the drive that was started by Finley, comes in, and the Panthers don't miss a beat.
Then Lewis doing his things with his legs right here. Big run by him. And then Makari Bodiford right up the middle, another former Walton Raider. Cam Brown back on offense for the Panthers, finding Javon Robinson on the 44-yard score. And then the capper right there at the end of the half, the 55-yard bomb off the foot of Gianni Spettek. And you just got to wonder, the Panthers had gifted him 5 yards. It was going to be a 60-yard attempt. It turns into a 55-yard attempt and a 55-yard make. As you take a look at the halftime stats, statistically, the Panthers have dominated, but they trail by 1 point. 313 total yards for Georgia State and 15 more plays for the Panthers and more than 7 minutes time of possession for the Panthers.
That is so big.
But Memphis has the 1 point lead, 17-16. Halftime continues from Atlanta in just a moment. Welcome back. It's halftime in Atlanta. Memphis with a 17-16 lead on Georgia State. Matt Stewart along with Sam Crenshaw. Sam, let's take a look at some Sun Belt news from around the conference, starting with the preseason coaches poll. James Madison picked to win the East. They were a 2-touchdown loser to Louisville last night. Georgia State trying to improve upon a prediction of finishing last in the East. Playing well here tonight, trailing Memphis by a point. In the West, Louisiana lost to Rice in their opener, and they're tied with McNeese 7-7 in the second quarter. Arkansas State got blown out by Arkansas today. Texas State ended up winning today as they beat UT San Antonio. And the new faces around the conference, Dow Loggins, App State improved to 2-0. They beat Charlotte in the opener, beat Lindenwood today. Tony Gibson trying to get his first win as the Marshall head coach right now. They lead Missouri State in the second half. And Southern Miss, of course, opened against Mississippi State last weekend. And congratulations to a great guy, Larry Blakeney, the legendary coach of the Troy Trojans, the Sun Belt Conference's all-time winningest coach. Led the Trojans to 8 conference titles. He will become the first ever player or coach to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame.
Certainly deserves it. Magnificent career, Troy.
Yeah, great guy. Halftime here in Atlanta. Memphis on top by a point. Back in Atlanta, ready to start the second half in the capital state of Georgia. Turned into a lovely Saturday night after storms passed through the area, caused some delays in college football games, not just here in this state, but all around the Southeast. Memphis leading this one 17-16. As we get ready to start the second half, Matt Stewart along with Sam Crenshaw. We did see TJ Finley warming up for the Panthers, Sam, during halftime, which leads to the question, if we get to that point, would you even bring him back in with the way Cam Brown's been playing for Georgia State in the first half?
I would be reluctant to do it, although it's nice to know that he's healthy. We assume healthy enough to go back into play, and we'll see. But because Memphis gets the ball first, you know, Dale McGee has a little bit longer time to make that decision if he hasn't already made it.
Cam Brown has played very well in his extended playing time here tonight. 8 of 12 for 139 yards and a touchdown. Also 3 carries for 25 yards and a touchdown as well.
He is represented well, and after all, he is the one we were told would likely start the game.
There's the comparison. Finley was, of course, sharp, 10 of 10 for 103. Cameron Brown came in and subbed in for him after Finley went out with an injury. Finley was injured his hand when he was sliding for a first down, and Bracey, the safety for Memphis, came flying in and landed right on that hand. But Cam Brown has done an exceptional job. And again, just to kind of reiterate what happened, we were told a couple hours before the game that Cam Brown was being listed as the starting quarterback. Of course, they submit the starters so the PA announcer can announce them. And so that we got a drone problem here. Somebody's flying a drone here in the stadium, and the officials are not going to let play start until it's out of here.
It's on the move.
So if you got a drone, please remove it from the premises.
They're everywhere.
Including the places that are not supposed to be.
Yes, right.
So anyway, going back to the story, we were told that Cam Brown would be the starting quarterback, but when they brought out the offense for the first play, it was Finley instead, and Finley played very well. As you can see, you saw the stats, and then he got hurt, and then Cam Brown came in, and he's played very well as well. So
we believe that both were being prepared to see a lot of action tonight, and we expected to see both of them.
But it's certainly a pleasant problem for the Panthers to have after what they had last week against Ole Miss.
Absolutely.
Meantime, for the Memphis Tigers, they've been outgained rather significantly here in this ball game, yet they lead. Got a huge field goal from Spedick right there on the final play of the half, a 55-yarder, which I believe is got to be a stadium record. Has anybody kicked one longer than 55? I mean, we didn't get any kind of official update on that, but I believe it might be a stadium record.
Could be. Hopefully we'll get that and find out. But it was supposed to be longer, Matt. We had the penalty that made it 5 yards closer, and he made it pay off.
So apparently the drone has been removed, or it was shot down, one or the other. And here we go. Start of the second half, and Memphis will have the ball first. And they'll take it at the 25-yard line to begin the third quarter. Statistically, Lewis, 9 of 13 for 95 yards in the first half. Sutton Smith, 6 carries, 44 yards. Their leading ground gainer, 1 touchdown. And also a 50-yard catch by Hawkins was the biggest reception for the Tigers in that first half. Second all-time meeting between these two teams, first time ever here in Atlanta, as the Tigers bring the offense out to start the third quarter. Lewis rolling to his right, looking downfield, throwing, and that is going to be a completion to Hawkins across the 40.
We talked about Lewis earlier being able to throw from the pocket, or if you roll him out of the pocket, you can still be very accurate, and here he is rolling out, taking his time, finding his receiver.
First and 10 ball is spotted at the 41. Anderson, the tight end, in motion behind the line. Handoff goes to Smith, and Smith gets a couple of yards before being tackled right there at the line of scrimmage by Henry Bryant. Again, DeWozier, pardon me, Greg DeWozier, their number 1 back on the depth chart, has not played here tonight. We were told he was going to make the trip, and they'd check it out on Saturday to see how he felt after he got hurt last week against Chattanooga. We never saw him in pregame warm-up, so it's been Sutton Smith primarily as their number 1 back here tonight. Lewis eludes the rush and runs out to the 50-yard line and is close to the first down. Might be a little bit short, but it looks like he got it. They're going to give him a generous spot at the 49. I thought he stepped out at the 50. He got to the 49, and that's the first down.
Panthers brought the pressure here, but they go right past him. Can't corral him, and here's Lewis making him pay.
You know, and Travis Pearson, the Panthers DC, said you had to be very careful how you rush Brendan Lewis because he's looking for running lanes when you do. Smith breaks a tackle, and another. 2 broken tackles for Sutton Smith before Henry Bryant gets him on the ground at the 41.
Give Sutton Smith credit. He keeps the legs going. He's bouncing off defenders, escaping another defender.
Spectacular high school running back here in Atlanta at Walton High School. And another former Walton running back has played a big role in the Tigers offense here tonight as Hawkins makes the catch and batters his way down inside the 30-yard line. Memphis moving the ball effectively here to start this third quarter.
And another Georgia State Panther down here right in front of the Georgia State bench. You get another look at it here. Nice play. Tough yards.
Third catch of the game for Hawkins, and 2 of them on this series.
That's Jordan Huff.
Huff had a big game against Ole Miss last week. Probably statistically, no doubt, he was their top defender against the Rebels. Had 8 tackles, 4 solo, a TFL, and an interception in the end zone.
He comes off.
And now both teams had moved over to their respective sidelines, perhaps anticipating that there was going to be a timeout, but there's not going to be. We're going to keep playing.
The official said, come back over here.
1st and 10, ball at the 28. Lewis, that's a straight quarterback run right there. Bryant again making the tackle as Lewis gets to the 25-yard line, picks up 3.5.
Tigers putting together a good drive coming out of the locker room. Remember, they scored points before they went in.
Yeah, this looks, the offensive approach that we're getting here from Memphis here to start this third quarter is maybe more like what they showed against Chattanooga last week. And they just didn't run a lot of plays in that first quarter. Remember, they only ran 5 plays in the first quarter as Georgia State held the ball. Smith again with a strong run. Sutton Smith, good to see this man back and running hard for Memphis after he wrecked his knee in the opener last year in 2024. Always good to see the local high school kids go off, come back, have a big game. And he's done that so far here tonight.
Got a timeout here.
Not blow the horn when Memphis has the ball. Thank you.
So the Panthers have the train horn. Of course, Georgia, Atlanta history. This was a big train town. It was once called Terminus before it was ever Atlanta, and Marthasville before that. But homage to the history of Atlanta and the big train horn. They blow it all the time here at Center Park Stadium. Panthers jumped off sides. Free play for Memphis. Ball jumped up in the air and broken up in the back of the end zone. Now trying to go to Brady Cluse. Cluse, another former Atlanta kid right there. Harrison High School.
Penalty, first down.
That's a penalty against Georgia State. That's going to move the Tigers even closer.
So the target right there was Brady Cluse. He went to Harrison High School. For our folks outside of the state of Georgia, point of reference, that's the school that produced Justin Fields.
Absolutely. The Hoyas.
The Harrison Hoyas, you're right. So 1st and 10, ball is at the 14-yard line. Clean pocket for Lewis. Now it breaks down, has to get it out of there hot to Anderson inside the 5, and that's going to be a first down for the Tigers out at the 3. Second time, Stan, they've gone to Anderson in this game. Both times got him a first down.
Here's Anderson with the catch. Lewis with the delivery here, and now a first and goal.
11-yard pickup on that play. Ball goes to Bodiford. Makari Bodiford gets stonewalled at the line of scrimmage and lost a yard.
Host of blue jerseys there to greet him. 11, Ian Matthews, one of them for Georgia State.
Bodiford is a big back at 5'11", 222. Biggest back in their depth chart. They take him out right here in the Sutton Smith. I think that's Smith or maybe Pizant back in the game. I think Pizant now in the game, lined up. He gets the handoff. Nope, Lewis going to keep it and run it himself. Lewis into the end zone for the Memphis touchdown. 5-yard touchdown run for Brendan Lewis. Makes it 23-16.
Excellent call there. Fake to give to Pizant. Just roll right. Gets into the end zone for the score.
So they go up 7. They'll take the single point here if they can get it. Gillis is the holder. Zarut is the snapper, and it all works perfectly for a 24-16 lead. Impressive opening drive for Memphis. Took nearly 5 minutes off the clock. And they've got a 24-16 lead as we head to break. So TJ Finley's got the helmet on, Sam. Perhaps he's getting ready to come back in as the Panthers have fallen behind by their largest deficit of the night, now trailing 24-16.
Yep, he's back. That's a good sign to see. We wondered if he would get a chance to come back in the game or go with Cam Brown since he was leading the team well. But we will see Finley in the first possession of the second half.
Speaking of good signs for Memphis, that drive was more what they're accustomed to. 10 plays, 75 yards. And Lewis, 40 yards passing, 16 yards rushing on that drive. He accounted for 56 of their 75 yards. Return. And Payton going to get stopped shy of the 20-yard line. You know, the freshman right there really wants to get a big return, but probably cost yourself 6 yards right there by bringing it out.
Maybe so. Maybe so. He had a couple of good returns tonight, and of course the one that opened the game dropped it momentarily. But that is where Georgia State will start this first possession of the second half.
So Finley's back in the game. He was 10 of 10 passing before he left in the second quarter with an injured hand. Has no wrap or no glove on that hand. It was his left hand, so his non-throwing hand. And he's going to toss the ball right here to Braswell. DJ Braswell out to the 29-yard line.
Nice pickup here to start the possession. Just a quick toss out to Braswell. Follows his blockers. Nice gain to start this possession.
Second down and 1 for the Panthers. Ball sitting on the 28. Robinson in motion behind the line. Panthers moved on the offensive line.
False start, number 54. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So that's Tyler Williams, new to the program. Played his high school ball at Milton High School here in the Atlanta area. Won a state championship. He's been at Akron. Coming back home to play his college ball here in Atlanta. But he moved on that play. So instead of 2nd and 1, now 2nd and 6. Several things that Coach McGee said about TJ Finley that really jumped off the page at me, and the Panthers going to have to call a timeout because they were down to 3 on the play clock.
That's the timeout the coach doesn't want to call at this stage in the second half.
So we're not going to take a break. We're not going to take a break. So I can tell the story here. So the thing that jumped off the page at me with Del McGee was he talked about TJ Finley's leadership ability and how he holds his teammates accountable. He's not afraid to, be vocal. And he said that was something that our program was really lacking, leadership from a player. So when he started talking about those things when we were talking on Thursday, I'm starting to think Finley's going to play a lot.
Right. And this is a program where you kind of need some players to just step forward and do that. On the defensive side of the ball, I know we were talking with Henry Bryant this week, and he was saying how reluctant he is to do that. He said he's not a yeller or a screamer. If it's something he has a point to make with, he pulls him to the side and does it one-on-one. But sometimes you need that volume. Sometimes you need that person that's going to, really even need to get up at some faces, and Finley doesn't mind doing that.
So coming out of the timeout, Panthers had to burn it to avoid taking the delay of game penalty. Quick pass goes to Hurst. Ted Hurst gets the first down and more. Weaves through the defense up to the 38. Omarion Cooper making the tackle on Hurst, but he picks up the first down. 6th catch of the game for Ted Hurst.
Hurst having a much more productive night than a week ago in Oxford.
Yeah, had 1 catch, 6 yards, and Del McGee said non-negotiable. He's just got to get more targets. We got to get him the ball more, and the way we do that is we got to throw it to him more. 1st and 10. Ball out here on the edge to Washington. Kyle Washington, the freshman who picked up his first career catch in the first half, gets his second right there. Short gain.
Short gain on that play. DeMarco Ward, 31 in on the stop, the transfer from Florida State.
Duluth Wildcat.
Yep.
Played his high school ball in Gwinnett County. Had a 27-yard pick 6 against Chattanooga last week. Second down and 7. Handoff goes to Braswell. He gets wrapped up and dropped right away. Everett Rousseau, the former Cedar Grove Saint, who has actually played in this building in the state championships.
Yes, he has.
Makes the tackle for the Memphis Tigers right there.
Transfer over from Alabama, Birmingham, but feeling right at home playing in this stadium.
Yeah, won some big games here in this facility. He had 6 tackles and a TFL last week against Chattanooga. 3rd down for the Panthers. 3rd and 9. Finley going to take a sack back at the 32.
Big guy, Buda Walker.
Buda Walker, who transferred from Kennesaw State, playing back here in Atlanta, gets the quarterback sack. Buda just blew up everything. I mean, he just threw his body in there. Watch Buda.
He did that several times last week against Chattanooga.
He is a big dude at 6'1", 305. He's like a bowling ball. Just roll in there and knock down the pins. Spun out of there by Chanley. Uh-oh, return opportunity here from Memphis is Sutton Smith weaving magic. Across the 30, the 40. Smith all the way up close to the 50. What a game for Sutton Smith tonight back in his home city.
What a return, Matt. Beautiful punt, but what a return.
Sutton Smith has been spectacular. Gives the Memphis Tigers great field position when they go back on offense after this timeout. Brendan Lewis, more like the Brendan Lewis we expected to see here in the second half. He's now up to 168 yards of total offense.
Exactly, Matt. This is what we thought we'd see more of from him because he has that capability. He throws the ball well, done that, but when there's yardage there in front of him, he can usually make the play with his legs, and now we got a flag here.
And he has lived up to the Panthers' scouting report on him. When Travis Pearson, in particular, the defensive coordinator, talked about the physicality of his running ability. And he's a big, strong runner. You saw him breaking through several arm tackles during that highlight package right there. There he is, 12 of 16 passing, 135, and he has added 33 yards on the ground, including the touchdown that has them in the lead 24-16 right now. So first and 15, balls on the 43. And more Sutton Smith. These two guys, Sutton Smith now, prior to that run, was at 111 yards of all-purpose offense here tonight following the big punt return that set them up where they are right now.
Big 99, Jartavius Flournoy, his first one to make the stop.
They got the Penguins, they got the Mets. I'm looking at their play call. They got a bunch of different team logos. You got the Eagles, you got the Penguins, you got the Mets, and you got the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento Kings?
It means something, but you got to be on the inside to know. Second down and 13 here. Lewis going to run it. That's where he's most dangerous. Picks up the first down at the 34-yard line. You can see why the Tigers are so excited about this young man.
You can dial up the pass rush on this guy, man, but if you dial up the pass rush, you better get him, because if you don't, this could be your result.
If you do not close down the running lane, he will take advantage of that, and he does it right here on this play. 20-yard pickup. And now the ball sitting on the 34. Memphis trying to go up by 2 scores here as we're now under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Going to run some trickeration here as the ball goes to Dorsey. Actually, that's Hawkins. That's 9. Hawkins on the end around. And Hawkins gets the ball to the 31.
Jermaine Wilson was in the backfield, but couldn't get in position to make the stop.
29-yard lines. We're going to spot it. And a Panthers player's down on the field. And that's Fillmore, the corner.
And he's been very active tonight. Deuce Fillmore been very active for Georgia State tonight.
And looks like we're going to have an injury timeout right here, and we'll step aside with the Tigers on the move and leading by 8. Second down and 5 for Memphis coming out of the injury timeout. Matt Stewart and Sam Crenshaw. And you get the feeling that Memphis has taken over control of the tempo of this game. This will be the 15th play that they've run in this quarter, only 5 for Georgia State, so triple the number of plays. Very similar to what the Panthers were doing to Memphis in the first quarter when the Panthers ran 27 plays to Memphis 5 plays. And led by 15 plays at halftime.
And this, of course, with Georgia State with the quarterback change, with Finley returning. But now let's see if this defense can slow down what Memphis has been doing.
So ball at the 29-yard line. Smith gets the handoff, and he's going to get stuck right there at the line of scrimmage as the Panthers got penetration at the point of attack, and Josiah Robinson leading the way for the tackle.
25 in there quickly. First of the blue jerseys there to help make the stop. Bringing up a third down here, Matt.
Sam, Josiah's been working out.
Yeah, he has. Show it off just a little bit.
I don't blame him. I would too. 3rd down and 7. Lewis in the pocket, quickly across the middle, 1st down for Memphis. Quick pass completion for the Tigers gets them a 1st down as the ball goes to Braham.
Cortez Braham makes the catch, hangs on to it just enough to get that 1st down, but the sticks move. Fresh set of downs for the Tigers.
3rd patch catch for Braham after he had 3 last week for 52 yards and a touchdown. Right up the middle, Sutton Smith, collision inside the 10, gets down to the 7.
Offensive line going to work, big hole on that play. That left side, right there off 52, Jakari Walker.
Huge hole. You know you're doing work when your jersey's all faded. The colors in the numbers are all faded. Or maybe that's just colors from the field. Either way, you know he's doing a lot of work. And big job by the offensive line from Memphis here in this 3rd quarter as the Tigers are taking control of the game. Lewis going to try to get around the edge. Look how physical he is. That's not your typical quarterback. Lowers his shoulders, he gets to the point of the tackle.
Doesn't mind the contact one bit.
Kind of looks like he likes it. Down to 2 minutes to play in the quarter.
You talked about this offensive line, and we were told that they are the true strength of this football team, and that's something else we've seen here in this 2nd half, why they say that. They make a lot of things possible.
They've taken over the game here in the 2nd half, and now they're trying to go up by 2 touchdowns under 2 minutes to play in the quarter. Pass thrown to the tight end, Adcock. Matt Adcock getting his 1st catch of the game. But now it's going to be 3rd down at the 5.
Your 3rd down conversion so far, what Memphis has done.
That's really a low number, only 6 3rd down conversion attempts in this game, and we're almost at the end of the 3rd quarter. But they've been good at it, 4 of 6. Handoff goes to Adcock. They keep him in the game, and he gets stonewalled at the 1-yard line. Actually, that Peasant, pardon me. I saw the back 2, and I thought it was 32, and it's 22, Peasant. Down to the 1, 4th and goal. Let's see what they do here.
Peasant in the run, held up right there. Walker trying to drive him back.
Ball is actually spotted just inside the 1. 4th down and goal. Big play right here. Four seconds on the play clock. 2. Handoff. Touchdown, Memphis. Makari Bodiford rumbles in for his 2nd score of the night. 14-point lead for the Tigers with 15 seconds left in the quarter.
Tigers had to have it. Good execution, got a good lane, and Bodiford just leans right in for that score. 2nd of the night.
These Walton Raiders are not going to be welcome back in Atlanta. I mean, Makari Bodiford and Sutton Smith have killed the Panthers tonight, but good for them. PAT, perfect. 31-16, 15-point lead for the Tigers as they've now extended what was their largest lead of the game. The Panthers now down 2 scores.
And that's going to make it very difficult as we got 15 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter.
Look at that block by Adcock, the tight end, the H-back, just stealing the play right there. Just a huge block to help Bodiford get into the end zone.
And Memphis has had the ball practically this entire quarter, Matt, practically. We've only seen the Panthers do very little. You know, they go and make the quarterback change to start the 2nd half.
Tigers have now scored 20-plus points in 42 consecutive games. It is the longest streak in college football by a long way. See Miami second, 18, and the lights went out. I don't think that was on purpose either.
No, I think we're doing something. We got these newfangled lights, Matt. You don't have to wait for them to warm up anymore.
Yeah, back in the old days.
Oh, my goodness.
The lights went out. I mean, it's like you might as well go get something to eat. It's going to take 30 minutes for them to warm up.
Right.
Now these lights are quicker than your light switch at home.
They are.
The entire stadium.
It's amazing what they've been able to do with them.
15-point lead from Memphis. Panthers going to get the ball back, but now they got a big hill to climb as we get ready to enter the fourth quarter. And this time they will not return it out of the end zone. And the Panthers will get it at the 25. That was a 10-play, 51-yard drive. And remember, we've been singing the praises of the Walton Raiders and Sutton Smith all night. That short field was set up by the great punt return by Sutton Smith.
So once again, more being done by the Walton alums.
Yeah. Finley stays in there at quarterback for the second consecutive series. Handoff goes to Branson Robinson. Robinson gets knocked down at the 24.
William Whitlow in on the stop that time. And that's going to end the quarter.
And Jeremiah Jordan came in there and cleaned it up. Panthers now down 15 points as Memphis tries to pick up their second win of the season. They lead it by 15 as we head to the fourth quarter in Atlanta. Game summary as we head to the fourth quarter, and Memphis starting to assert their will in the run game. Now 173 yards rushing. Brendan Lewis over 200 total yards now. 14 of 18 passing for 147. He's added 56 on the ground. Georgia State's gotten a good game from their two quarterbacks, Finley and Cam Brown. 20 for 24 combined, 259, but they trail by 15 here as they're on offense to start the fourth quarter. And Finley is the quarterback. Finley across the middle, that's complete to Amos. Rashad Amos up to the 35, and that'll be close to a first down.
This is a big possession for Georgia State as far as this game goes. They need to have some success and some consistency. Sustain a drive and convert some third downs, and here's one right here.
So obviously this game story is not complete. We have a quarter to go, but I'll ask you the question because Coach McGee's going to get this question in the post-game news conference. If Georgia State doesn't come back and win, what about his decision to go with Finley here over Cam Brown?
I think he gets that decision. He gets that question either way.
Play action, Finley across the middle, low throw, incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Blackburn. And broken up by Omarion Cooper.
Me personally, Matt, it would have been difficult for me to make a change if you got Brown in there and he has been moving the team well. I think I would have gone with him to start the second half. And if he had some difficulties, then we go to Finley. But the change was made.
Yeah, Brown obviously played very well. And Finley has played well too, but the offense has not been as good. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Memphis has dominated the plays and time of possession here in the third quarter, now into the fourth. Finley going to take a sack back at the 28-yard line.
And that was fourth down. We got a penalty flag on the play as the Panthers were going for it on 4th and 1.
And the Panthers might have just gotten bailed out right there.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
They did.
15-yard penalty, first down.
So they get bailed out going for it on fourth down in their own end. And Finley gets stopped right there, but the face masking call is going to give the Panthers a first down. If they don't get that face mask call, almost at a point where it could be game over.
So the drive continues.
Costly penalty right there on Memphis. They were going to get the ball back and in Panthers territory with a 15-point lead, but Georgia State now fresh set of downs at their own 49-yard line. Heavy rush, quarterback sack back at the 37-yard line. William Whitlow, the only returning starter on the Tigers defense, gets the quarterback sack. 12-yard loss.
Finley tried to get rid of it, and that's what he's arguing. He was attempting to pass.
The spot of the foul, second down.
So they will call it intentional grounding. You get the same result as the quarterback sack. You get the loss of down and the point where the ball was intentionally grounded back at the 37-yard line. So same result. Second down and 22. Ball comes to Braswell. Braswell spun around and battles forward to the 35-yard line, but great pursuit. Bracy was there. I think it was Bracy, pardon me. Might not have been Bracy.
13, Jeremiah Jordan.
It is Jeremiah Jordan.
Here to finally bring him down, but a lot of white jerseys were out there to cover that play.
Yeah, Jeremiah Jordan has got a lot of run at that spot. He's listed on the depth chart as a backup to Bracy, but Jordan has played a lot tonight. Came up with another big play right there for the Tigers, and now it's going to be third down and 23. Quick pass to Blackburn, trying to get around the edge, and he's going to get up to the 47 But that's going to be way short of the first down. Fourth down, let's see what the Panthers do for it. They're going to go for it again. You're kind of in that spot, down 2 touchdowns. If you give the ball back, don't know that you're going to have enough opportunity to come back and win this game. So they're going to go for it on 4th and long.
Catch by Blackburn, tried to get the pick off the umpire.
4th and 12, Panthers going for it from their own 47. Line to gain is the other 41. Might be a free play. It is. Play gets blown dead. So not a bad play by Finley right there, because the Panthers just get 5 yards if indeed it goes against Memphis.
This may go against Georgia State.
False start.
Wow.
Your 30
Wow.
offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So that's why the play got blown dead. Had it not been on Georgia State, it would have been a live play and a free play. So now the Panthers will punt.
Boy, what a possession. Not what Coach Dale McGee was hoping for. Yeah, you saw that movement in the interior.
So now Reed Chanley on to punt for the Panthers, standing at his 28. Kicks it at the 17 and down at the 19 as it rolled backwards, and that's where Memphis will go on offense, and there's a flag down. Way back at the line of scrimmage.
During the kick, holding, number 20, return team. 10-yard penalty for the kick, 1st down. Timeout.
So that's going to push the Tigers back even further from the 19-yard line. And as they sort that out and mark it off, we'll step aside, and the Tigers on offense when we get back. Early 4th quarter, Memphis leading 31-16. They'll have the ball as we come out of this timeout. Matt Stewart, Sam Crenshaw. Memphis has done a really good job of taking control of this game in the second half. You see the passing yards, and then if you look at the rushing yards and the total yards, that's where you see where things have really flipped as Memphis has physically taken over the line of scrimmage. Georgia State had a big whopping advantage in the total yards at halftime. That's gone away. 1st and 10 for Memphis, ball at the 9.5. Penetration by the Panthers on defense as they blow up the play. Jalen Jones, 23, first guy in there. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
Clock starts to become an enemy for Georgia State. They can't get some big stops here.
Yeah, Memphis is kind of in go slow mode here. Burn as much time as they can. Lewis scrambling out to his right, being chased, and gets around the edge, knocked out of bounds by Josiah Robinson, who lost his helmet in the process. And it's going to be 3rd down.
Rarely see a player going to make the hit and his helmet comes flying off, but that's what happened. Robinson got a little smile on his face, heads to the sideline.
3rd down. Panthers really need a stop right here, get this ball back, because the clock, as you mentioned, while not totally a tough situation yet for Georgia State, going to quickly get there. You see the Panthers 5 of 12, Memphis 4 of 7 on their 3rd downs, and this is a 3rd and 6 for Memphis. Lewis fires. That's going to be a 1st down catch. As they go to Kluse, the former Harrison High School star, gets his first reception of the game and a 1st down for the Tigers.
Another one of the players back home playing with Memphis. And Brandon Lewis just knew what to do, got rid of it quickly, moves the sticks, another 1st down.
Put it this way, Memphis has a whole lot more players from Atlanta than Georgia State has players from Memphis.
It's true.
But that's not unusual when teams come in here to play the Panthers. Georgia's such a fertile recruiting ground for teams all over the country, and especially in the Southeast, as Sutton Smith gets a short gain. Downtown Atlanta on what's turned out to be a really nice Saturday night. Had some concerns about it earlier in the day when the lightning and the thunderstorms were rolling through the area, but they cleared out in time, and we have not had any problem here with this game this evening. 2nd down and 8. Lewis dumps it off, complete to Smith. Smith's got the 1st down and more. Smith down the sideline. Across the 50, the 40, Smith all the way down to the 34-yard line before finally being run down.
45, Keelan Butler finally makes the stop, but not after a big catch and gain from Sutton Smith. Watches right there on the sideline. Tiptoe there, stays in bounds.
Wow, Sutton Smith is going to get close and maybe over 200 yards all-purpose here in this game.
Nice block there by the tight end. Christian Ross was right in front of him, too. Allow him to get more yards.
1st and 10 for Memphis. Makari Bodiford this time gets stonewalled at the line of scrimmage. He's still moving. Picks up a yard on the play. These former Walton Raiders have come in here and really done a lot of damage. That was Pizan actually that time, 22, not 21. But Sutton Smith, what a performance by him. 14 carries, 74 yards, and 1 touchdown, and that's just half the damage he's done. He's been big in the return game, too.
He has been really big tonight in every way he can to help his team.
And his players, he's such a likable guy. When he came back and scored that touchdown last week against Chattanooga after missing a whole year with a knee injury, the sideline exploded. So everybody's happy to see Sutton Smith coming back strong here in 2025. Now that's Makari Bodiford, and he gets stopped.
Another nice play there by Jartavius Flournoy, number 99. He's been active up front for Georgia State.
Freshman from Colquitt County High School in Moultrie, down in South Georgia.
Hard to miss him.
Memphis doing a really good job of not only gaining yards, but eating up a lot of time, as the clock will be under 7 minutes left in regulation by the time the Tigers snap this ball. Keeper by Lewis this time. And Lewis is going to get down to the 28-yard line. Hopkins in on that tackle for the Panthers.
And like you said, Lewis doesn't mind making the contact, huh?
No, and Silverfield said, in retrospect, looking back at Lewis's first game with Chattanooga last week, he said he did just about everything right. Maybe there were just a few plays where he could have handed the ball off instead of running it. He did a really good job. He's done a really good job here tonight. Now here is Spedick, who hit a 55-yarder at the end of the half to give Memphis a 17-16 lead. This is a 46-yarder, and this one's going to be no good. Certainly had the distance, but didn't put it through the uprights. And so the Panthers remain down by 15 and no more than that. But they're running out of time. 6:09 left in this one. Georgia State on offense when we get back. Back on offense, down 15. And ever since Memphis got that field goal, that 55-yarder by Spedick at the end of the half, basically Memphis has played ball control and keep away from Georgia State. In fact, Memphis, even though they did not get points, missed a field goal, they chewed up 5.5 minutes off the clock right there.
And that's big. That's when your offense is really helping your defense by keeping the Georgia State offense on the sideline and not able to regain that rhythm they had with Finley in the first half.
So now let's see if they can do that as the Panthers go on offense, and they're behind the 8 ball here, down 15 with 6:09 to go. Heavy rush, Finley gets it out of there, nearly intercepted by Kamari Wilson there on that back line.
Kamari Wilson was the right place. Boy, threw a little bit behind it, but he got hands on it.
Finley was trying to get the ball to Hurst, didn't see Wilson in the passing lane right there. Second down. Across the middle, and again overshoots his target, and this time again nearly intercepted by DeMarco Ward, who was trailing on the play, and now it's going to be third down.
This Georgia State offense has just had trouble regaining, recapturing what they had. Remember, Finley left the game. He was 10 for 10 on his pass attempts.
Like you said, the question is going to come. I mean, he's going to get it. I mean, he made the quarterback change, and Cam Brown had been playing well. And it's not to say that things would be any different had he kept Cam Brown in the game, but it'll be a question that's coming in the postgame. 3rd down. Movement. Overton, the tight end, got in a quick start.
False start. 0. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Edwin Lee, our referee, we're giving this guy a workout tonight. And the American Athletic Conference officiating crew.
Well, hopefully they're taking care of. Got some nice per diem. Go out for a nice dinner tonight.
Got any recommendations?
Well, there's plenty of spots in Atlanta. 3rd down and 15. To the sideline, low throw. I was trying to get the ball to Blackburn over there, and it's going to be 4th down. And you're right. I mean, you hit the nail on the head when you use the word rhythm, because Finley, since he came back in after the injury and sitting out until after halftime, has not been as sharp at quarterback as he had been before. Panthers keep the offense out there, so this is desperation time. 4th and 10 from their own 27. Really have no choice. If you punt it back, you leave yourself absolutely no opportunity. So got to go for it here on 4th and 10. Finley to the air, and high throw and catch at the 41-yard line as Ted Hurst picks up the big 1st down for Georgia State.
Boy, you had to have something good happen for you there, didn't you?
And Ted Hurst and TJ Finley just made it happen for the Panthers. 14-yard pickup when they needed 10. And the Panthers keep hope alive. Across the middle, ball goes to Robinson. Branson Robinson up to the 49-yard line. Former Georgia Bulldog out of Canton, Mississippi. Germantown, so he's in that Memphis area. Second down, ball at the 49, got to get it to the other 48 for the 1st. Finley in traffic, broken up. Cooper breaks it up, trying to get the ball to Blackburn.
Stops the clock with 4:23. So you got a 3rd down coming up here. You want to keep this drive going.
Panthers holding on to their, well, they're actually down to 2 timeouts. They've already burned 1. They're going to need those defensively if they're able to score here to try to get the ball back. Finley flushed out of the pocket, throws it complete. Coming across the middle there, Overton makes the catch.
Enough for the 1st down.
As Brumfield, the linebacker, made the tackle. That'll get Georgia State the 1st down, but they're just having to kind of take little nips at the yardage right here. We're down under 4 minutes to go. Up top and intercepted. And that might do it. Omarion Cooper comes up with the interception inside the 15-yard line.
Big play for Cooper.
Not a lot of elevation from Coach Silverfield right there.
And here's Finley just looking, going to hang it out there and hope that his receiver can make a play. Can't do it.
So the official was right there. This is going to be reviewed. The official was right there. He's going to get the turnover belt, but I think this is going to be reviewed. Perhaps it's being looked at right now to see if he made a full catch all the way down to the ground. As it is right now, Tigers have the ball back as we go to break. So the interception by Cooper is still under review. You can see what we're seeing right here. Watch, he does not take it all the way to the ground. There's movement at the end of the play.
Yep.
So they're going to turn this over.
It's going to be 4th down at the 49-yard line.
So the Panthers get the ball back, and now it's 4th down again from the 49. The interception, I guess Cooper had to give the turnover belt back.
You have to give it back if it's not really a turnover. But you're already posed for pictures with it.
Yeah. They'll get another crack at one right here as the Panthers are down. Again, they've already converted 1 4th down and long here. Well, hold on a second. The official said it was 4th down. You see the Tigers have forced at least 1 turnover in 17 of their last 21 games with 38 total takeaways during that stretch. So they've been really good at that. That's always a recipe for a winning team. The official, did he not say it was 4th down? It's clearly not 4th down.
We're looking at the down marker, which is right around midfield. That has a 2 on the field.
Okay, so Memphis does get the ball. That was 4th down. So Memphis gets the ball. The Panthers do not have it. That was 4th down on the long pass play. So now the ball goes over on downs. Is that what we're seeing? What's confusing me is they haven't stretched out the chains. They've got it 2nd down and 1 right now.
Right.
But the Memphis offense is out there on the field, aren't they?
No, Georgia State offense is still there.
I'm trying to figure out what they got going on.
Georgia State offense is still on the field. So now the chains will stretch out. They're getting position.
Correction, it'll be 2nd down at the 44-yard line.
There you go. So it is 2nd down. So 2nd down for the Panthers. Referee, hey, look, we all make mistakes, including me. I make a lot of them. He threw me for a curveball when he said it was 4th down.
Right. So it's 2nd down.
Finley to the far side, and it's caught by Hurst. No, he could not hold on to it. Or did he catch it?
Oh, he dropped it.
Yeah, I didn't think he caught it. In and out of his hands.
Brings us back to 4th down.
Not yet. It's 3rd down.
No, 3rd down. 3rd down.
Sam, don't make things worse.
Now
it's 3rd down and 10. Heavy rush. Finley gets away from it, but not that time as he gets dropped for the quarterback sack way back at the 46-yard line.
Brumfield making the stop. He's been active all night tonight, and watch the transfer from Virginia Tech.
Great pursuit by Brumfield. And guess what? It really is 4th down now. We can say with full certainty it's 4th down.
4th and 19.
Finley fires underneath. And Amos will not get anywhere close to picking up the 1st down as he's dropped at the 44. Ball will go over on downs to the Memphis Tigers, and in all likelihood, that ends any chance that Georgia State's going to have to win this game tonight.
Wow. That's disappointing for Coach Dale McGee, especially the way this game started, the way things started for Georgia State. Moving the ball downfield, sustaining drives, converting 3rd down plays, things that they weren't able to do last week. And there's a look at Cam Brown, who came on in relief. We were told he was going to be the starter from the outset. That was not the case.
Give a lot of credit, though, to Memphis. They took this game over in the second half when it was tight in the first half, and they got the big field goal from Spedick at the end of the half to take the 17-6 lead, and it's been all Memphis ever since. Sutton Smith leading the way. The Walton Raider with 74 yards tonight. Brendan Lewis adding 68 yards, went for 81 in their opener. So he's really given them a dynamic that's going to help them a lot going forward down the stretch.
And Matt, if I may, I'll go back to that middle eight that we talked about again, because you want to keep Memphis off the board before halftime. They found a way to score points going into the locker room, and they had the ball to start the second half.
Tigers will be at Troy next Saturday as they play another Sun Belt team next Saturday. And then their American opener will be at Florida Atlantic on September 27th as Bodiford gets the carry. Panthers using their timeouts. And that's going to be the 2-minute warning. 2-minute timeout. I'm going to get fined for calling it a 2-minute warning. That's the NFL. But you know what it is. It's a 2-minute timeout. It means we got 2 minutes left in the game, Sam. Panthers back in action here at Center Park Stadium next Saturday night when they play host to Murray State. Sam and I will be back for the call of that one next Saturday night, 7 o'clock, right here on ESPN+. 3rd down and 1 for the Tigers coming out of the timeout, and the Panthers just gifted them the first down.
Offside, number 99 defense entered the neutral zone and caused the offense to react. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Gartavius Flournoy jumped into the neutral zone, and that'll be a first down for Memphis at the 42-yard line.
He's had a lot of positives in this game tonight. He's been out there working. This is not one of them.
Do you think his jersey could be any tighter? How long do you think it's going to take him to get that thing off in the locker room? They're going to have to cut it off with scissors.
They just might. And we got a timeout here. We're going to use it.
Bodiford Short gain for him. Panthers down to 1 timeout remaining. Take a look at the Memphis Tigers. Their next 5 games at Troy. Tonight will be their 12th consecutive victory against Sun Belt opponents. And next Saturday at Troy, they'll get a chance to try to make it 13. Then Arkansas on September 20th. Their conference opener against Florida Atlantic on September 27th. Interesting about that Arkansas game, and that game will be played at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. They found out this week, though, they were supposed to play Arkansas next year in Fayetteville. And now because the SEC has gone to a 9-game conference schedule, that game's been dropped from the 2026 schedule, and now they won't play in Fayetteville until 2030. Whoa. So now here we are in September 2025. They got to find another opponent to round out their 2026 schedule because Arkansas, that game's been dropped. They will not play at Fayetteville next year. Lewis on the run. And Lewis picks up the first down. Flag comes out. But they will definitely be hosting the Arkansas Razorbacks in a couple of weeks there in Memphis. Arkansas, a big winner over Arkansas State today.
Right.
In the first ever meeting between those two teams. Believe that?
Well, penalty.
They never played.
Clock will start on the snap.
Arkansas State.
Number 87.
Frank Broyles would never play an in-state opponent. I mean, and think how long it's been since Frank Broyles has even been alive.
True.
It's just now coming. They finally got out from underneath the shadow of the legendary Frank Broyles. They wouldn't play an in-state opponent under Frank Broyles. And that was any sport. They're just now starting to play the Arkansas States of the world or Pine Bluff of the world. Next 5 games for the Panthers. Got that return trip against Vanderbilt coming up in 2 weeks after they beat the Commodores here in this building a year ago. Conference opener coming up against James Madison October 4th. Bodiford on the carry. Brings up 3rd down. Clock continues to run. Panthers have 1 timeout remaining. Doesn't look like they're going to use it.
Yeah, main thing Bodiford wanted to do on that play is fall down inbounds.
Well, they are going to use it after all.
He let a few seconds tick off before deciding to use it.
At this point, it doesn't matter. So 3rd down coming up. Panthers do actually have an opportunity if they get the stop right here to get the ball back one last time, although they're down 15 points. Good look at Center Park Credit Union Stadium. And here's a look at the update that's coming to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium to put some money into that thing, the old Liberty Bowl.
Right. I haven't been there in a long time. I went there years ago for a game.
Yep, been there many times, called many games there in my career, and it looks like they're going to give that thing a major facelift. And why not? Memphis has been extraordinary here the last couple of years. Started with Mike Norvell, actually started with Justin Fuente, who then went off to Virginia Tech, and then Mike Norvell came in, and Ryan Silverfield has continued on the tradition. 11-2 last season, and they'll improve to 2-0 this season in 91 seconds. 3rd down. Memphis going to keep it on the ground, give it to Bodiford, and the Panthers will get the ball back. But let's see how much time they're going to have when they get it back, because Memphis now on 4th down will. I doubt they'll even punt. Maybe they will. They might punt. But they'll run it all the way down as far as they can before they do punt.
Maybe we'll take a delay of game.
Yeah, and there's 20 on the play clock right now. So they're going to run it down to around 40 seconds before they call a timeout and punt, or take a delay game and punt, one or the other. Now they're going to call a timeout, you can see. So the remaining question here is, will they punt it? Memphis will improve to 2-0 all-time against the Panthers. And from the Georgia State perspective, they played better. It was better than Ole Miss last week. From the Memphis perspective, the opponent was a lot stronger than it was last week, and they still get the dub. So now 2-0 heading to Troy next week.
Amazing how, like you noticed, Matt, they went back to what we expected to see them do offensively, and it paid dividends for them.
Yeah, they took over the game. They took over the game in the second half with their line of scrimmage and running the football and basically just keeping the ball away from Georgia State after the Panthers put 16 points on the board in the first 2 quarters. Shut down Georgia State in large part. Now, the defense had a lot to do with that, but also in large part because the Panthers didn't have as many opportunities because they shut them down. 12 straight wins now for the Tigers. Their last loss against the Sun Belt team, against the team that's no longer even in the Sun Belt. That was Middle Tennessee back in 2012.
And here's TJ Finley. Like you said, the question will be asked.
Yeah, Finley was 10 of 10 passing when he came back in, so he's now gone 10 of 16 passing in the second half. He was 10 of 10 at the time he got injured and sat out the rest of the first half. Finley scrambling around back there in the end zone, gets out of the end zone and fires incomplete, looking for Javon Robinson, now down to 29 seconds remaining.
So the Panthers will break down this film and have a lot to digest and a lot to go over this week as they prepare for Murray State. Still want to get that running game to do more. The running game was better last week against Ole Miss than it has been tonight against Memphis.
7 o'clock next Saturday night for the Panthers and the Murray State Racers. Finley stands in the pocket, guns it downfield, complete to Hurst at the 30-yard line. So that was one objective that they were able to obtain and reach and accomplish this week, was get the ball to Hurst more. That'll be his 7th catch of the game right there. Whitlow gets hurt with 23 seconds left in the game.
They got him back up on his feet here.
So 23 seconds left on the clock. Playing out the string here in Atlanta. Had a great first half. 17-16, Memphis took the lead into the locker room, but it has been all Tigers here in the third and the fourth quarter. Picked, might be a pick six, and it is. Icing on the cake for the Memphis Tigers as DeMarco Ward gets his 2nd pick six in as many weeks.
And once
that's
again,
another Atlanta guy.
Another guy from the Metro Atlanta area from Duluth. Marco Ward read that one like a book. Stayed in bounds. It has been the Metro Atlanta guys' show tonight for this Memphis team.
No doubt about it. And DeMarco Ward, who played at Duluth High School, gets himself a pick six here in his hometown. And the final score is going to end up being pretty lopsided and probably not nearly as indicative of how competitive the game actually was. But here in the second half, it's been all Memphis, and the final score does reflect that.
It will. It will. We got 11 seconds to go in this one, and for a lot to digest from this one, but a sweet ride back home for the Memphis Tigers. They come down here to play in Atlanta and play here in this stadium for the first time, and they're going to take back a big win.
.100 wins now for Memphis since 2014. That's tied for 12th most in D1. And like we said off the top when we opened this game at 7 o'clock Eastern, this season could end up being really special for Memphis. You saw the pick to finish third in the American Conference, but they're right there with Tulane. They've got a legitimate shot to win the American Conference championship this season. As you take a look at the ESPN Power Rankings, and according to the ESPN Power Rankings, Memphis, coming out of the first week, was rated the number 2 team. And of course, South Florida got a huge win after beating Boise State last week. They beat the Florida Gators this week.
That's going to impress some people right now. You know, Memphis has them, but South Florida is really impressing folks.
And it's all good news for the American Conference teams because high tide raises all boats. So I mean, it's a good looking situation for the American Conference here after the first 2 weeks of the season.
Truly it is. You talk about that. You talk about Tulane. We're not talking much about them, but they're the team that a lot of people are watching as well.
Yeah, they were playing at South Florida. I'm sorry, they were playing at South Alabama tonight, and they had a lead in the second half. So it looks like they're going to pick up another win. And so now the Panthers will just take a knee. And that'll do it. 38-16 the final. Memphis improves to 2-0 on the season. They win their 12th straight game against Sun Belt competition and beat Georgia State 38-16. Panthers played better, but Memphis was better than their better.
Better, obviously, offense was executing better than last week at Oxford. More from your passing game than your run game. You want to find a way to balance that a little bit more. But boy, you have to tip your cap to Memphis and what they came in here and did and really took control of this game in the second half. And that's the outcome that you see, Matt.
Memphis on the road next week at Troy as they'll try to improve to 3-0. The Panthers will try to pick up their first win of the season next Saturday here against Murray State. You'll be able to watch that game right here on ESPN+. Our director has been Patrick Laurie, our producer Tyreek Adams, our statisticians Jeff Slate and Kevin Barnes. And now for my partner Sam Crenshaw and our entire fabulous ESPN crew, I'm Matt Stewart. So long from Atlanta, where Memphis defeats Georgia State 38-16.